Last month, I did a review on the pre-production version of the Wuben E7, and if you guys want to check that out, I will be putting a link in the video description. And this month, I got my hands on the retail version with all the accessories. And if you purchase any of the accessories, you can use my discount code, which I will be putting in the video description, to get a good amount of money off. The Wuben E7 is one of the most versatile lights that I have seen yet. Not only can you use the light just as it is, but you can also put it in a little headband to use it as a headlamp. There's an extension where you can use a bigger battery to extend the usage of the flashlight. And we also have a touch sensor here that allows you to use the flashlight easily with gloved hands. So let's see what you get inside the box, and I'll show you what all the accessories can do. Comes packed up really nicely. Here we have our instruction guide. Here is the light itself. Here are some of the accessories for the light. So we get a lanyard. We also get some O-rings in case you happen to replace the battery. And we also have a charging cable that is coiled up. It's a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. So here is the light itself. It is made of all metal. It does have 2 LEDs in it. It's got a nice metal belt clip as well. We have our power button on the top that does have a little LED in it to show you what the battery life is at. And it also has a magnetic bottom that you can use to attach to anything metal. Now before you use your light, you're going to need to unscrew the bottom cap here and remove this plastic cover that's keeping the battery from making contact with the bottom cap. And that's this little piece here. Remove that, put the cap back on, and you're ready to use your light. So this light does use 2 Osram P9 LEDs. It's got a max output of 1800 lumens. Its max beam intensity is 132 meters. It uses one 18350 1100 milliamp hour Li-ion battery. It uses USB Type-C, which is underneath this rubber cover here. It's got 6 different modes of operation: high, medium, low, turbo, strobe, and SOS. It's also got a waterproof rating of IP68, and it weighs about 80 grams. Now, like I mentioned before, you can simply use the light as it is here, or you can also put it into its headlight clamp, and you instantly have a headlight. You just simply put it into this piece just like that, and it rotates very easily in pretty much any orientation, and now you have a headlamp. It's also very easy to take out. All you need to do is simply press down on this little plastic piece here, and you can very easily just pull the light out to use it that way. Another really cool thing about this headlight clamp is the fact that you can use it with Wuben's XO light as well. It fits just the same way. You just slip this into the hole just like that, clips into place, and now you have a headlamp for your XO. And you also have the option of getting these lights in a couple different temperatures as well. There's a 5000K and a 6500K. So if you want a light that's a little more on the yellowish side, get the 5000K, and if you want something that's super white, go with the 6500. They both put out the same amount of lumens, so you don't have to worry about that. Now let's take a look at the E7 extension tube. Basically what this does is it allows you to use a bigger battery to extend the usage of the E7. It also gives you something more to grab onto if this light is a little bit too small for you. Now, like I mentioned before, the E7 uses one 18350 battery. If you're going to want to use the extension, you will need to purchase one 18650 battery. So all we need to do is simply unscrew the bottom cap again, remove the battery. We're going to screw in the extension into the bottom, just like that. Then take your 18650 battery. This one I have here is 5000 milliamp hours. Make sure that the positive end goes into the flashlight just like this. Put the cap back on, and you're all set. So now instead of 1100 milliamp hours, you've got 5000. Just think of how long the flashlight will last with this 18650 battery. And then as you can see, it gives you a little bit more to hold on to instead of that smaller flashlight. So if you want to hold on to it like this, you have something to grab onto. Another really nice thing about the extension is the head strap will accommodate the light with the larger battery as well. You can easily slide it in just like you did without the extension. So if you need to work longer, hands-free, the extension with the head strap will definitely be a good option for you. And as I mentioned before, there's also a sensor you can purchase to use the light hands-free. So if you're using gloves and it's a little harder to press the little button on the flashlight, all you simply need to do is wave your hand in front of the sensor and it'll turn the light on and off. You can pretty much use this sensor exactly like the button on the flashlight just by waving your hand. Now the sensor does not have a built-in battery. It is powered by the flashlight battery itself, and all you need to do is simply pull out this waterproof plug in the USB Type-C cable, just like that, and then plug the other end into the USB Type-C port on the flashlight. You should see a little light illuminate, and then like I mentioned, all you need to do is run your hand in front of the sensor and it'll turn the light on and off. And you can also activate all the other features as well from this sensor. Like if you want to turn it on and then change the brightness, just hold your hand in front of the sensor and it'll run through the different brightnesses. And then just take your hand away on the brightness that you want. You can also turn it on to turbo by rapidly moving your hand across the sensor twice. And you can also put it into strobe mode by rapidly moving your hand across it 3 times. And then 3 more times for SOS. And it's also got a little clip on the back so you can easily clip it onto the head strap. And then let's see what it looks like on my head. So it easily fits in place. I just activated the hands-free. You can adjust the head strap how you want it to fit on your head, but it is pretty comfortable. As you can see, I still have the extension on the head strap, and if I want to turn it on and off, I don't have to fish for that button. All you need to do is run your hand across the side of your head, and it turns on your light. Let's make it a little brighter. Here we go. Looks pretty cool. And you can adjust it again. Like I said, you can push it down so you can have it angled more towards something that you're trying to see on like down below. Pretty cool. It doesn't feel too heavy. Like I said again, you can adjust the strap however you want it, how tight, how loose. If you're wearing a helmet or a hat or something like that, this will easily go over it with the adjustments. Now when it comes to powering the little sensor, you have a couple different options. You can use the straight cable that actually came with the sensor, or you can use the curly one that came with the light itself. So it seems to work and fit really well. So if you're going to go hiking, camping, or if you need to work on something hands-free, this is definitely going to make it a lot easier. So now let me show you how bright this light can actually get. So now we're going to do a couple different brightness tests. One, I'm just going to show you how bright this flashlight can get across my garage, and then we're going to turn around and see kind of how far the beam will go. All right, so here it is on low. As you can see, it lights up a pretty decent sized area in front of you. Then we'll move on to medium. That significantly lights up more of an area. Then we'll go to high. That lights even a bigger area. This flashlight definitely does have a very wide floodlight. And then we'll move on to turbo. That is 1800 lumens. Lights up a huge area. All right, so I've zoomed out just a little bit so you guys can get a better idea of how wide this floodlight actually is. And this is just on high. Look at the area that lights up. It's so wide that I can't even capture it all on film. And then turbo. All right, so now I'm angled up the street a little bit. As you can see, it's fairly dark. There are some lights on some of the houses, but this will give you a little idea of how far this beam actually goes. So we're going to start off on the lowest setting. So there it is on low. As you can see, it doesn't go too far, just kind of illuminates maybe 10 to 20 feet in front of you. Then we'll move it on to medium. Definitely lights up a lot more area. Then we'll move on to high. Even more area. And then turbo. You can see how much that floodlight actually lights up. And here it is zoomed out as far as I can go to show you how big that flood actually is. Like, look at how much of an area this lights up. It's huge. That's pretty impressive for such a small light. It also works really well if you need to get underneath your car to do an oil change or work on something else. And then if you want to work from the top of your car, you can pull the light out from the head strap, connect it to something metal on your car, and turn on the light. And now you can easily see everything and work hands-free. So as I mentioned before, the Wuben E7 is definitely a very versatile light. Again, you can use it like it is. You can add an extension to extend the battery life. You can also use a head strap that has a sensor that allows you to do pretty much everything the button on top of the flashlight can do with the wave of a hand. And if you want to pick up this light with all its accessories, you can also use my discount code, which I will be putting in the video description, along with links for the flashlight itself. I'd also recommend checking out all the other reviews I've done on Wuben's lights, and if you want to do that, just click on the video you see on your screen right now. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out my channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.